My name is Gabriela Hernández and this is the lesson number 3 for Pasantías pre-profesionales y vinculación con la comunidad 2 for the second bimester. The topic of this lesson is the passive voice. In this lesson, students are going to learn about the passive voice in order to use it in conversation. This class starts by students being given a worksheet. In this worksheet, we have a paragraph about the Titanic. Well, all we know about the Titanic, but if the students are from the new age, maybe we have to previously tell them about the Titanic. But the paragraph in the worksheet is really clear, and the students are going to read it. The students are going to participate in this part for improving their reading and speaking skills. Again, they are going to work one by one. They are going to participate reading one sentence at a time, and after that the teacher can read the paragraph, or maybe if she's going to correct the pronunciation during the reading, students can be asked to read the sentence again in the correct form. And in this paragraph we find clearly maybe almost all the sentences using the passive voice, so is really a way to introduce into the topic, and the students are going to find here all the examples and also the structure for the whole class. Well, after the reading, the teacher is going to ask some questions for checking understanding of the reading. In this part, obviously, are going to participate the students that didn't participate in the reading, and they are going to be asked some questions that we can easily answer using the reading. For the next part, students are going to be shown a chart. It's a presentation with a graphic organizer in a chart about the use of passive voice. Here we can find the structure, how the passive voice is formed with a sample, and also the uses of the passive voice and where the passive voice comes. So in the graphic organizer we have the active voice and how it is turned into passive voice. Then this part is going to clarify any doubt that students got from the reading and how those sentences were formed. And the teacher has to explain in a deeper way, obviously, for the students to understand, but it's technically easy. And we're speaking about students of the third grade of high school, so it is not a topic that needs too much explanation, because they already know about the past perfect and the verbs in participle, and so it is easy for them to understand. In the next part, the students will be asked if they have any question. Anyway, we as teachers have to always make sure that students understood. Then after this part of questions, students are going to be asked to underline the sentences that we have in passive voice in the worksheet from the beginning of the class. teacher on her own is going to write the same sentences on the board in order to students to compare if they underlined all the verbs and if they got all the samples. Well, and then they are going to choose any of the sentences that they underlined or the teacher wrote on the board, and they are going to compare the sentence to the structure that we had in the graphic organizer about the passive voice. This is in order to understand that to set the topic. Well, for the modeling part, students are given another worksheet that has many other samples, and they are going to analyze them. Together, the teacher, of course, they are going to read the sentences and compare them, and we can say where we have here the be plus the past participle, and we are going to contrast them to the another sentence that we already know that is in the passive voice from the whiteboard. And this way students are going to really clarify the topic and the form of the passive voice. In the following part, the guided practice, students are work in pairs, and in this part there are pairs. The student A is going to tell any sentence or any fact or something in the active voice, and the other student have to retell the sentence in the passive voice. Here students are practicing their listening and their speaking skills, and also this is a per group work in the class. Then after the couple exchange the roles, they are going to go to their seats and write the sentences they listen from their partner, and they are going to write the sentence in the active voice and next the sentence in the passive voice in order to practice the writing skills. While students doing this part, any student can be asked by the teacher about to tell to the class the sentence that he or she is writing, and here we can notice if the students really got the topic and how they are doing it. Well, in the end of the class, students are going to be asked about if they have any question or if they want that the teacher turns any sentence in the active voice into the passive voice, and then again students can participate as way of conversation, and this is whole class work, and students can tell to the teacher any sentence in the active voice, and she's going to turn it into the passive voice, explaining again if it's necessary. And for the final part of the class and as a homework, students are going to be asked to write a short paragraph using the passive voice about pyramids. Pyramids are buildings from the past, and as the Titanic in the first part of the class was constructed, and here in the worksheet we can find the format or the way that students have to write the homework, and the teacher has to tell students that they have to read again the worksheet to notice how to do the homework, but in this way it's not about the Titanic, it's about the pyramids, and this is the homework, and this is the class number 3, and that's all.